I came for camels and cliches. I stayed for kindness and kebab. By Jack Hamilton, American solo traveler. Before Iran, my life was a blur of elevators, deadlines, and overpriced oat milk lattes. I lived in New York City. My mornings started with a podcast and gridlock. My nights were frozen dinners and half-heated swipes on dating apps. The apartment was the size of a generous broom closet. Social life consisted of group texts about brunch plans, and the only strangers who talked to me were trying to sell me crypto or yell at me on the subway. I wasn't looking for enlightenment. I was looking for different. I wasn't unhappy, but tired, burnt out, lost in the rat race. Then I did something completely irrational. Booked a flight to Iran. Because why not? I had vacation days, a vague curiosity, and a feeling that the world had to be bigger and kinder than my inbox. The news, of course, had warned me. Ayatollah, sanctions, stern faces, no fun. Even my friends thought I was joking.
Are you going there?
Iran, dude? Dude, do you want to die?
But I didn't die. In fact, I may have never felt more alive. At the Tehran airport, I was nervous. A stern-faced officer flipped through my passport, looked me over, and finally said,
"Welcome."
That word welcome would follow me everywhere. Within hours of arriving, I found myself in a taxi with a driver who refused to let me pay. "You're a guest in my country," he said, smiling.
Welcome.
Later that day, a shopkeeper invited me for a tea. That turned into dinner. That turned into meeting his cousin's family in a nearby village, who then insisted I stay overnight. I couldn't tell if I have been adopted or abducted by kindness. In America, we love our space and privacy. In Iran, if you look remotely lost, someone will not only give you directions, but walk you there, introduce you to their brother, feed you free meals, and call you every week thereafter. What amazed me the most was the dual life people led. Publicly, Iranians are respectful, modest, and often reserved, especially under the watchful eye of rules and morality police. But behind closed doors, I found a world that was colorful, joyful, loud, and deeply human. I was invited to a party in Tehran through a friend of a friend. It was in an apartment with blackout curtains and a coded entry system. Inside, it looked like any house party in Brooklyn. Music, people dancing, drinks flowing, and even a guy DJing in a corner with a laptop and a lava lamp. These parties are modern Persian paradoxes. The youth, engineers, artists, students, hustlers came alive like characters in a secret movie. One girl in a Ramon's t-shirt with a bright red lipstick told me, "We might be restricted in daylight, but at night we get to choose who we are." At one party in northern Tehran, I found myself wedged between a bookshelf and a group of young Iranians, chain-smoking and debating their country's future. "I love my country," one guy named Arman said, pouring me something that smelled suspiciously like whiskey. "But I hate how small it makes us feel in public. You're always performing. Outside, I'm buttoned up and obedient. Inside, I'm a DJ, a poet, a gamer, whatever the hell I want to be." Most people in the West think we're oppressed robots. We are not. And by the way, we don't hate Americans, we hate your government. You haven't truly bargained until you've done it in Iranian bazaar. It's a blood sport wrapped in politeness. I once chatted with a carpet vendor for 2 hours. We had 3 cups of tea, discussed regional politics, and ended up bartering in French. I don't even speak French.
Comme ci, comme ça.
By the end, I didn't buy the carpet. He gave me a pomegranate and a heartful goodbye hug. Apparently in Iran, the deal isn't the point, it's the connection. You go to the market to see people, argue for fun, and leave with a handful of walnuts and a story. Even the taxi drivers are philosophers. One guy in Shiraz lectured me on Rumi, famous Persian poet who lived in the 13th century, while waving through traffic like a caffeinated Super Mario character. He asked me what I thought about death. I said, "I'm considering it, if you don't slow down." He laughed and handed me a cucumber. Why do Iranians always have a cucumber? If you know, please share in comments. Before I came, I expected repressive regimes, stern faces, and camels. Actually, camels are not a regular mode of transport. Uber exists. I was disappointed, but instead I found extremely friendly locals with hospitality that would never be possible in the Manhattan rat race, and American streets full of trash, drug addicts, and crazy homeless people. Iran is a place of paradoxes. Publicly reserved, privately explosive. The people who live 2 lives, one for the world and other for themselves. And yet in both, there's a kindness that makes Midwestern hospitality look like an afterthought. And to Grandma Fatima, who makes the best damn passengers on earth. Thank you for kidnapping me. Please do it again. So that was Jake's story. What do you think? Please share in comments. Maybe we shall indeed travel more instead of watching mass media bullshit, just to gain more freedom to be able to see and understand how people in other countries actually live.